Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. It's Paulie Esther here, and today we're gonna read through the lore, the backstory of our brand new killer character for the chapter 31 Dead by Daylight, All Things Wicked. We're gonna read about the unknown. That's right, we're gonna go into the unknown, into the unknown. Oh, sorry. But first, I want to talk to you about this apparel company that I'm sponsored by called Into the AM. They make everyday elevated graphic t-shirts. And when they approached me to do a partnership, I just absolutely fell in love with their designs, and the shirts feel amazing. And right now they have a sale on the website where you can get 25% off of all graphic t-shirts this week only, I believe. And you can stack my discount on top of that for an additional 10% off by using code Paulie at checkout. A lot of amazing designs here. I had trouble just picking what I wanted the most when I went through the site. Lots of things to offer. I actually have this one here as well. I have about 10 of the shirts and I love them all. So obviously it would help the channel a ton if you were to purchase something from them as well. So save you some money and would also help support me. So I would appreciate that if you would give them a look. I'll have the link in the description and the first pinned comment for you to check them out. All right, the music for the lobby for the unknown is just so chilling. It's so unnerving. Let's grab our character here. Do your thing.
Now I'm back.
Me too. Okay, we're gonna turn this audio off here, and we're gonna read the backstory here, the lore for the unknown. Olivia's master's thesis was on urban legends and their origins. She believed they shared similarities with traditional folklore and picked one to illustrate her point. The unknown was believed to be a mysterious evil so heinous that investigating it almost immediately invited death. At least that was how the story went, and there were many stories. One story was of a woman in Greenville who disappeared without a trace on stage in front of a room full of witnesses. That's Michaela. Her friend disappeared weeks later while trying to investigate what happened. That's Sable Ward, the survivor for this chapter, All Things Wicked. We'll read her lore tomorrow. The police were stumped. They had no clues or leads, and that mystery created the perfect storm for amplifying and spreading an urban legend. Instead of going back home for spring break, Olivia headed to Greenville to investigate. She drove to the second cheapest motel in town and began to set up in a small room that smelled of cigarette smoke, mold, and booze. She turned one wall into kind of an evidence board. She taped up articles and various theories on similar disappearances attributed to the unknown throughout the country. She made connections with red string and yellow thumbtacks. Anyone walking into the motel room would think she had lost her mind. It's given me It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia vibes, you know, if you've ever seen that meme. There were many theories as to the unknown's origin. Some said it was a malevolent entity conjured long ago by an ancient cult. Others believed it to be an alien that escaped from Area 51. Legend was it thrived in darkness and stole the voices of those it consumed so as to lure others to their doom. The first articles Olivia found referenced a disappearance at a seance held in the 1800s. In the late 1950s, several college students mysteriously disappeared from a movie theater. Witnesses saw them go inside. Some remembered seeing them in their seats, but when the lights came up, they were gone. No one saw them leave. No trace of them was ever found. A projectionist claimed to have heard voices in the empty darkness of the theater later that night. But when he turned on the lights, no one was there. Then in the 1960s, a group of teens disappeared while exploring an abandoned hospital believed to be haunted. Stories and speculation arose to explain these mystifying disappearances. Some talked about a top-secret government research program run by the Office of Strategic Services in the 1950s, the OSS. Project Apple Pie. mind control experiments using hallucinogenic drugs. Most of the records were destroyed in the 70s, but witnesses claim that experiments were performed on unsuspecting civilians in various settings and locations throughout the country, including movie theaters, hospitals, and universities. Many believed these unethical experiments opened doorways to other dimensions, which allowed evil things to enter the world. Olivia wrote observations to pin to her evidence board. The unknown dwells in darkness and can mimic its victims. Was it an evil entity, an extraterrestrial, a failed government experiment, or just a garden-variety serial killer allergic to publicity? She wanted to prove the unknown was nothing more than modern-day folklore, and that investigation led here to this night, to this place, to this shabby motel room. Yet she couldn't help but notice that the disappearances in Greenville included one detail the other stories didn't: the fog. And she half remembered another urban legend with a thick, unnatural fog that somehow made people disappear. Maybe, she mused, the Greenville disappearances didn't relate to the unknown, but some other darkness. For a moment, Olivia wondered what would happen if one urban legend encountered another. She laughed at the idea and tempted fate by sketching a picture of what she thought the unknown might look like. Then she pinned the sketch right in the middle of her evidence board, laughed nervously, and waited to be consumed by the unknown for having tried to define it. Anxiously, she stared at the windows and front door for seconds that turned to minutes, and minutes that turned to hours. But nothing happened. Now it was 2 a.m. and Olivia was exhausted as she examined the articles and sipped cold coffee. So, when she first heard the whisper, she wondered if she imagined it. "Olivia!" It seemed to come from the bathroom. "Help!" The lights in the room flickered. "Who's there?" Olivia stared with wide eyes at the closed bathroom door. Her mind was playing tricks on her. Or her friends had shown up to prank her. "Ariella, Sean, stop messing around." The lights continued to flicker as she edged closer to the bathroom. Fear spread in long waves through her, and a terrible realization bloomed within her that the unknown was behind the bathroom door, was preparing to make her pay for her hubris. Something began to whisper her name again, but then the voice rose, cracked, and distorted in sudden panic as if the brooding creature behind the door were under attack. An unknown horror filled Olivia's heart and left room for nothing else. She breathed deeply as cold sweat beaded on her forehead. She placed her hand on the doorknob. The lights turned off, but she could still hear the strangely inhuman cries. Then the lights turned back on, and she could see a strange black fog seeping through the bottom of the door. Hesitantly, Olivia creaked the door open to see a bulky shape with frenzied tentacles being pulled into a thick mass of fog, vanishing slowly into the darkness like a dying shadow. The shrieking stopped suddenly. Neighbors banged on the wall to turn down the TV, and Olivia stared intently at the black abyss that yawned before her. She wasn't sure what to do. Part of her wanted to run, but the other part wanted to know more. And as she considered what to do next, dozens of voices began to call out to her with promises of the unknown and the impossible, and of unearthly things beyond human experience. So it's kind of an interesting piece of lore here for the unknown. We don't get a lot of information about the unknown. We actually get more information about Olivia, and it leaves you hanging here and suggests that possibly Olivia might be joining into the fog along with Michaela and Sable as part of this intertwined lore as a new survivor in the future. It wouldn't surprise me at all if we do see Olivia. And I see a lot of people who are upset. They're like, this doesn't tell us anything about the unknown. This isn't the unknown's backstory. This is Olivia's backstory. And it's hard to argue with that point. But I also think that there's something to be said with this air of mystery around the unknown, that we don't know what it is. We can't define it. And it allows the devs to take a lot of latitude with upcoming cosmetics. Since we don't actually know what the character is, they can go in a lot of different directions. And a lot of it is based on imagination. So they can really build on a multitude, a variety of themes for cosmetics for this character in the future, with all of these ideas about what the actual unknown is, right? With the evil entity, extraterrestrial, failed government experiment, all of those themes can be explored in cosmetics in the future. But yeah, I kind of like that air of mystery to our little fella here. Oh my. We just missed him do a little backwards turn here, I think. Part of his idle lobby animations. But anyway, so that's your lore, your backstory for the unknown. And maybe generally what they tend to do is when they release a chapter, the next rift tends to feature those characters in recent times. So probably the next rift will feature the unknown, and perhaps we'll get more glimpses into this character's origin as he twitches about there in my lobby to say hello to all of us. But yeah, that's all I have for you today. As always, thank you so very much for watching. I appreciate the time that you spend here with me on my channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel a ton. And we'll do Sable's lore tomorrow. That's all I have for you today. Don't forget to take care of each other in and out of the fog, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye. It's a Gen Rush life for us. It's a Gen Rush life for us. Set a hiding, we do gens. Set a randoms, we got friends. It's a Gen Rush life.